Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. My name is Mary and here we talk all things houseplants with a bit more emphasis in Hoyas. Today it is the second video out of the 8 mini Hoya series videos that I'm gonna make, and I have decided to discuss about easy growing Hoyas, or to be more precise, Hoyas, 8 of them, that are my personal recommendation for whoever wants to start their collection. Maybe you already have 1 or 2 and you want to expand. Maybe you don't have any and you don't know where to start. So I have selected 8 of the Hoyas that I have in my collection, which I consider to be the best for somebody who wants to start their own collection. I have 4 factors that I have taken into account about these 8 Hoyas. And this is if the specific Hoya is a quick grower, if this Hoya that I'm going to talk about is an easy bloomer, how easy it is to find this Hoya, and if this particular Hoya, this particular species, is sturdy or let's say more resilient than others. And I'm gonna rate these 8 Hoyas from 1 to 5 according to these 4 factors. Before I start, let me tell you that all Hoyas that I'm gonna talk about today, like all 8 of them, are in a random order. So all 8 of them are good for somebody who wants to kickstart their collection for different reasons, each one. So let's start with the first one. The first one is Hoya cumingiana. As you can see it here, it is actually supposed to be terrestrial Hoya, but it for sure can climb and twine, and you can easily trellis it if you want. So this one I got as a very small cutting less than 2 years ago. I got it in December 23, and she has grown that much. She has all this new growth. Now, why do I have Hoya cumingiana in my list? I would say that in terms of growing, I would rate her with the 3 out of 5. She's not the fastest grower, but for sure she grows fast. You see already, this is a very well established plant that I have here, and I have it for less than 2 years. Now, is it bloomer, yes or no? I would put it 2 out of 5 in regards to blooming. This one for me hasn't bloomed yet, so I would say that I would not personally consider it an easy bloomer according to my own environment and conditions that I provide to her. Now, is it a resilient plant? Yes, 5 out of 5 for that one. It is very resilient. I have never had any issues with cumingiana whatsoever. Being a terrestrial Hoya, it's quite forgiving if you put it in let's say soil mix, for example. Personally, I have it in self-watering with pond, and you can see here all the roots growing. She's very sturdy. Originally I had her in, I got it in a soil mix. I transferred pond, I retransferred, and I transferred once again to a much bigger pot like this one, and she didn't even bother. She didn't have any yellowing leaves, nothing. So for sure this is a very, very resilient plant if you want to get it. Now, how easy it is to get Hoya cumingiana? Recently I've been seeing more and more in posts throughout the social media Hoya cumingiana in big box stores. So I would say that it's quite easy to find, especially in the States. Now, Asia, it's also quite easy. I never had any issues getting this one. Actually, I also have the variegated version. Let me show it to you. But if you want to start with one, I would for sure, this is a very young plant, you see. It only has one stem and it has just started branching a while ago. Also very fast grower, to be honest. For a variegated Hoya, it's quite fast. Like I got it when it was up to here. You can even see the sulfur that I had put for the treatment, and all this here is new growth. But we are not gonna have any variegated Hoyas in this video because variegated Hoyas tend to be a bit more finicky sometimes. So all the Hoyas that I'm suggesting today are the standard, let's say, ones, not the variegated ones. So Hoya cumingiana, for sure one recommended Hoya to start your collection with. The second Hoya that I would recommend for somebody starting their collection is Hoya carnosa. And I do know that everyone says that carnosa is a slow grower, does not bloom very often, and all these things. And yes, the majority of them are true. Carnosa is not an easy plant to bloom. For sure, it may take at least 2 years. I have an example here. This is my Carnosa freckles plus, and it does have her maiden bloom. Actually, she will be dropping the flowers anytime soon. They're about to fall, but you know, for the time being, you see, I'm losing them now. So why did I put Hoya carnosa in the list? First of all, when I refer to Hoya carnosa, I do not mean the outer variegated, the inner variegated, the compacta, none of this. I talk about the original Hoya carnosa, or let's say, okay, if you find the freckles or the splash version, this is also quite similar. Anything else, it's extremely slow to grow or can be a bit finicky. So that's why I would say if you can get your hands in a Hoya carnosa, get it. It's one of the best Hoyas to start your collection with. It is extremely cheap. You can find them even as cuttings, like in Greece, for example. I know that it's considered a grandmother plant, like our grandmothers used to have in their backyards, lots of Hoya carnosa. Now, how would I rate carnosa? Is she a quick grower? I would personally say 3 out of 5 in terms of growing. I have this for around 2 years. I got it as 2 leaf cutting, and that was it. This is how I got it. And right now, you see all the growth that she has. So within 2 years, I have a very, very well established plant. That's why I would say that yes, Hoya carnosa can be, it's not the fastest grower for sure, but I will give her a 3 out of 5 because yes, it does grow quickly, if you provide the right conditions, of course. Now, is a bloomer? I personally, okay, as you see, I had mine blooming within 2 years, but I would put maybe 2 out of 5 in regards to blooming. Just because I know that there are so many people that have their carnosas for years and years and years and they have not bloomed for them. In that aspect, okay, apparently it has to do with the conditions and how you take care of the plant, but carnosa, it's not an easy bloomer in general. So I would say 2 out of 5 for that. Why I would recommend this one? First of all, as I said, 5 out of 5 on how easy you can get your hands in one. It's probably the easiest Hoya that you can find. You can find in plant shops, you can find in big box stores, you can find in neighbors' yards. Almost everyone has a carnosa. Whoever is a plant lover usually has a Hoya carnosa in their collection. And also I would say that it's a very resilient plant. You can plant it as a house plant, you can have it outdoors, you can plant it in soil. I know a lot of people who grow their carnosas in soil, like pure proper soil, as you would put in any other like tree or whatever, still it grows without any issues. So in that aspect, I would say that it's very, very, very sturdy plant. And this is the second reason why she's in this list. Although, again, not an easy bloomer and a relatively fast grower depending on your location and the conditions you provide. The third Hoya on the list is Hoya shepherdii. I was actually thinking whether I should put shepherdii or minibel in this list, and I decided on shepherdii because it's a species and not a cultivar. So Hoya shepherdii, and let me grab mine. Is also known as the string bean Hoya, and apparently you can understand why. It has these very elongated leaves that look like string beans. Now, shepherdii. I got this plant 2 years ago, a little more than 2 years ago. And since then I had made this, and then I have propagated, I have cut back again, I have a second plant which is similar almost to this size. So I would say for sure it's a quick grower. In that aspect I would say that I would rate it a 4 out of 5. Now, easy bloomer. Everyone says that shepherdii is a very easy bloomer, and when it starts blooming it does not stop. For me, although I do have peduncles, like I don't know if you can see this one small over here, I have peduncles around the plant in different spots, but I never had any blooms, not in this one and not on the other one that I have at my office. I'm not sure why. She's a quick grower, but for me I have not seen it flower yet. Nevertheless, from what I've read and from Hoya shepherdii from other collectors, I know that once it starts blooming then it is almost constant. So in that aspect I would say 3 out of 5. I would not put a 4 out of 5 just because my personal experience does not reflect this. Now, resilient, yes, she's super resilient. She had flat mites, she had mealybugs, she had been underwatered, she had almost everything happening to her, and she did not bother at all. I never had any issues. I never had any leaves falling, any leaves yellowing, drying up the roots, nothing. I do keep hearing pone in semi-hydro, as most of my Hoyas, and I would say in that aspect it's a super resilient plant. It's like she just doesn't bother by whatever is happening to her. 5 out of 5, 100%, I can guarantee that. Now, how easy it is to find a Hoya shepherdii? I would say 3 out of 5 in terms of rareness. She's not a rare plant, she's not even really hard to find. You just need to locate collector that has this in the collection. I know quite a few people that have it, and it's because of the very peculiar foliage. It's a very well-known plant among Hoya collectors, so I would say it's not really hard to find one. If you want to get one, you can relatively easy get your hand in one. The fourth Hoya that I would like to discuss, and for sure recommend in any person who would like to start their collection with Hoyas, is Hoya hainanensis or crassipetiolata. Both are almost identical. The differences are very, very small. And I do have a video that I'm showing my hainanensis. I have a hainanensis, not crassipetiolata. I will post here. And it was about trellising a Hoya, how to trellis a Hoya. So I had hainanensis for, back then I think it was probably less than a year, maybe 1 year when I made this video. And you will see the growth that it had. So here I have a smaller sample. It's one of the cuttings that I took. Actually, in all honesty, I don't have this huge plant anymore. I gave a lot of cuttings, and then I decided to just keep smaller plants, bushier plants. So this is what I'm doing here. And I have also separated, I have like 4 or 5 different plants of hainanensis at the moment. So Hoya hainanensis, quick grower, 5 out of 5, no question. It's one of my fastest Hoyas to grow. It's like I transferred these cuttings maybe 1 month ago. They rooted and they transferred them here. And you see, I have already like new leaves, new growth here. This pair of leaves is new, these are new. So it grows ridiculously fast. It grows like a weed. 5 out of 5 if you want a fast grower. Hainanensis or crassipetiolata is your best bet. Easy bloomer, yes. I would rate it 4 out of 5 just because it is not that hard to bloom hainanensis. They are quite easy plants in general, and once you have them established, it's quite easy for them to bloom. For my mother plant, I had it bloom like maybe 4 or 5 times before I chopped it off. Resilience, yes. I would say 5 out of 5 in terms of resilience. It's a quite sturdy plant. It doesn't have much issues. I never had any issues with my hainanensis. Originally I had it in chunky mix, so not in semi-hydro, and I had 0 problems with her. When I moved, I have a few plants now in publicalyx semi-hydro, grows fine. This one that I'm showing you today is in pon, in semi-hydro, also no problem. So I would say that it's a fast-free plant, a fast-free Hoya. That's why I would say in terms of resilience, I would rate it with a 5 out of 5. Now, how easy it is to get? For that my rate would be probably 3 out of 5. I do know that crassipetiolata in particular is quite common in the States, and you can easily find it in Europe as well. In Asia, it's easier to find hainanensis, just I don't know why, to be honest. But in any case, yes, maybe because I don't know, it originates from Vietnam, but on the other hand, I would say that most Hoyas originate from Asia, so this is probably not the case. Anyway, crassipetiolata is much easier to find in general, so I would say probably 3 out of 5, because yes, it is easy to find. You can even find it in some big box stores, and it's quite easy to distinguish because the veination of the leaves. Let me find a leaf that I can show you. Okay, this one for example. You can see the veination here. Sorry guys, I had put some sulfur treatment on everything, so yeah, here. So yeah, 3 out of 5 for hainanensis or for crassipetiolata. Again, they're almost the same. The only difference is probably narrower leaves and more slender petioles in hainanensis compared to crassipetiolata. I have all the details and the differences in the video about trellising this Hoya, so you can have a look if you are interested to know more about it. Next one on the list, and this is dropping buds already, dropping flowers, is my Hoya multiflora. Hoya multiflora, and again, let me actually, I have recently repotted since my last video because she grows non-stop. So, in that aspect, let me bring her down. Quick grower, yes, 100 times yes. If you want a quick growing Hoya, that's the one, Hoya multiflora. Get your hands in one. It is growing like crazy. One thing you need to notice with multiflora is that it grows vertically, so it doesn't branch out on her own unless you chop her. I have not done this yet. I prefer to put it on a huge stick because I get non-stop peduncles and flowers, as you see here. And yes, I do not want to waste those. So a quick grower, 5 out of 5. I'm telling you, it's by far my fastest grower. I got this 4 months ago, 3 months ago, and it was up to here. Literally, like this is the height that I got here, and oh, this is new growth within like 4 months. It's a terrestrial Hoya as well. I do have here in Publicalyx in self-watering though, but in any case you can keep here in chunky mix. You can put just some more soil in there. It's quite easy, very forgiving. Quick grower, 5 out of 5. Easy bloomer, 5 out of 5 for sure. I mean, you see what's happening here, right? And the funny thing is that everyone says that it's very common for multiflora to drop the peduncles after they bloom. This is not the case with this one. This is the 3rd bloom that I have from the same peduncle. And here, I'm not sure if you can see it, guys. I cannot bring it any closer because it's such a tall plant. But here, for example, I have some new blooms from an existing peduncle as well. So, multiflora, oh, for sure, 5 out of 5 in terms of blooming. Plus, okay, it has this super cute, let me see how I can show it to you, flowers. Very unique, you cannot really go wrong. Resiliency. In terms of resiliency, I would consider it a quite resilient plant. Maybe the fact that it is a terrestrial Hoya helps. I never had any issues so far. I don't have it for a long time, but for the time that I have this one, she's really fast free. Now, how easy it is to get? I would put a 3 out of 5. Here in Asia, it's quite easy to get your hands in a multiflora. In the States or Europe, I believe that you need to go to a collector to get it. I'm not sure if plant shops have multifloras available. I would put 3 out of 5 because I don't think it's the rarest plant, the rarest Hoya, but it's not super easy to find as well. If you do get your hands in one, please get it. It's really rewarding. Next one on the list is a Hoya publicalyx. This is mine. It is the Royal Hawaiian Purple version. Publicalyx, I'm holding this because if I leave it will just fall. I have it hanging, and I do have some scorching as well from the sun. I've recently moved it a little further from the window because it was getting some scorching. Anyway, publicalyx, quick grower, yes, for sure. This plant that you see here has grown within less than half a year. I do have quite a few publicalyx plants. I was taking calyx from the mother plant that I got originally, and all of them have grown significantly. 5 out of 5 in terms of growing. She's a very easy grower, and in general I would say that she's also quite resilient. She doesn't bother much by mistreating her. So 5 out of 5 also in terms of resiliency. No matter which publicalyx you get, whether this is the Royal Hawaiian Purple or the pink or the whatever, I would consider more or less all publicalyx the same. So quite resilient and very quick growers as well. In terms of blooming, no, 1 out of 5 for me. I have 3 plants, none of them have bloomed yet. I'm not sure why, because they are growing, and actually this is the first time. This one I have it very close to the sun, very close to my bright window, just because I really want to check whether she will bloom under much higher light. She is throwing these tendrils, these huge tendrils, as you can see here, but no peduncles yet, and this is what I was inspecting right now. I'm not sure if I have here into highlight. I have tried everything. So in terms of blooming, I would say 1 out of 5. Not an easy plant to bloom. Nevertheless, super easy to get. This one, along with carnosa, I would say are probably the easiest Hoyas to get and start your collection. Very resilient, easy to get, fast grower, so yes, for sure recommend Hoya publicalyx. The next Hoya on my list is Hoya subquintuplinervis, or how it used to be called, Hoya pachyclata. And why do I have this in the list? Is she a quick grower? No, she's not. I would rate her 2 out of 5 in terms of growing. I have this plant for, okay, maybe 2 years, more than 2 years, and that's all the growth I got. I actually have three different pachycladas. Sorry, I know I'm using the former name, but it's much easier for me to pronounce compared to subquintuplinervis. So yes, she is not an easy grower, or a quick grower. She's not an easy bloomer. I would put 3 out of 5. I got 2 subquintuplinervis on exactly the same date, and one bloomed for me, exactly the same conditions. Okay, I was keeping them under the same conditions. One bloomed, no problem, quite easily. Amazing blooms, guys, amazing blooms. This one is yet to bloom, no peduncle, nothing. So I'm not sure what is happening or how I can have this one to bloom compared to the other one that has bloomed with no effort. So I would say 3 out of 5, because in all honesty, I'm not sure if I am doing something wrong for this particular plant, or what's the issue. The other plant that I had bloomed very easily, so yeah, 3 out of 5 for me. Resiliency, yes. See, this one had root mealies. No problem. I eradicated them and she continued growing like crazy. She's one of my first Hoyas, and probably this is the reason why I do have her on the list. I love the succulent type leaves, and in general I would say that I prefer the flower also compared to Hoya carnosa, for example. The treatment that you do to subquintuplinervis should be quite similar to carnosa. I don't know why people are obsessing over the heart-shaped carnosa Hoya. Personally, I do prefer subquintuplinervis much more. I think it's much more resilient, and this is why I'm rating this 5 out of 5. She's fast free and she's a fast grower than carnosa. So if you do like succulent type plants, this is a very good plant to spend your money on. And how easy it is to get? For me here it's super easy. When I go to the plant market, like 90% of the time I can always find the subquintuplinervis available. Super easy, similar to carnosa or carnosas where I live. In other places I'm not sure, but I would rate it 4 out of 5 just because it's quite easy to find those in Asia. You may not find them under the houseplants, to be honest. If your plant shop has sections, you might find subquintuplinervis under succulents or cacti, because many people confuse them with succulents. They're not, apparently, and they have this one in, again, pon, semi-hydro. You see the root system as well here. So yeah, I would not consider this a succulent. Yes, they do have succulent type leaves, but that's the only common thing that they have with the succulents. And the last one, okay, last one on the list. I was thinking and thinking again whether I should put as the 8th and final Hoya on the list, Hoya lacunosa or Hoya bella. And I've decided, although everybody says about lacunosas and how easy plants they are, my personal experience is not that. I do have lacunosas that I grow currently, although I thought I was jinxed and I could never grow lacunosas. I have my silver, which is struggling a bit. I have my black margin, actually I have here, that is finally started to grow. And I have 2 standard lacunosas, but I'm not gonna talk about lacunosa today. I thought it's better to let it be for the time being, and after maybe, I don't know, 2-3 years when I will be much more familiar with them, then I will discuss about lacunosas. Today I'm gonna put in the list as the final Hoya that I personally recommend, Hoya bella. And okay, I will be showing you one of the cuttings that I have. In all honesty, I do not have a bella which is non-variegated. I have this one. Actually, this is a cutting from an inner variegated that reversed. But I consider all bellas, whether you have the inner variegated, the outer variegated or the standard Hoya bella, the same. All of them are ridiculously quick growers. I never had issues with growing bella. They grow also like weed. You can have from a small cutting full plant in almost no time. They tend to branch out a lot, so it's very easy to get bella, and also they're very easy to root. So for example, now I chopped my mother plant because it was huge, and now I have like these cuttings. I have probably made 10 out of this, and they have all started growing already, you see? All the new growth. And this I chopped probably less than 2 months ago. So quick grower, yes. 5 out of 5. Easy bloomer, yes. 5 out of 5 for sure. Bella is notorious that when it starts blooming, it does not stop. I do have, I think I will post here from my mother plant, my inner variegated. The blooms that I had were up to, I think I had up to 8-9 peduncles at the time. That were either completely open or about to open. So yes, and my outer variegated, by the way, hasn't bloomed yet for me, and this is a big plant. Nevertheless, I would consider all under the same umbrella, so I would say that yes, they are easy bloomers. Like once you get the first peduncle and it doesn't burst, because bella, same as multiflora, have the tendency to burst their peduncles at the beginning, but once you get like your 3rd, 4th peduncle that stays on, it will for sure bloom. Now, resiliency. Yes, quite resilient. One thing that you need to note about bella or lacunosa or other small-leaved Hoyas is that you need to be on top of watering. Bella does not like to dry out, so if you can keep her in either semi-hydro or be on top of watering, that would be the best. In case she dries out, there is a chance of root rot. Nevertheless, I would say resiliency, I would put 3 out of 5, just because you need to be a bit more cautious with your watering routine in your bellas. And easy to get. Oh, easy, 5 out of 5 for this one as well. Bella is one of the most renowned Hoyas. Everyone wants to get a bella on their hands, whether this is the standard bella, the inner variegated, the outer variegated. so it's super easy to find. And one tip that I can give is, if you find a small cutting of Hoya bella, like this one for example, or something even smaller, do not think twice. If you want to get a bella, get it, because it is very easy to grow. Super quick grower, you will have a full plant in no time. So guys, just to sum up, the 8 Hoyas that I would recommend for somebody who wants to start their collection is Hoya cumingiana, Hoya carnosa, and again I am talking about either the regular carnosa or let's say the freckles or the splash version, none of the variegated ones, and for sure not the compacta. Hoya shepherdii, Hoya hainanensis or crassipetiolata, they are almost the same. Hoya multiflora, Hoya publicalyx, Hoya subquintuplinervis, or as you may find it, pachyclada, which is the former name but it's still in circulation under this name. And last one, Hoya bella. These are amazing and quite different between each other Hoyas to start your collection, and I'm sure you will never regret having these 8 plants in your plant collection. So everyone, if you did like this video, please like and subscribe, it would help a lot with growing the channel, and I will see you all next time. Bye bye.